So real quick, I want to talk about a topic that I think that there could be a lot to talk about, and or maybe there's little to talk about. I don't know. I technically just poured a glass of milk. I'm letting that cool because I got sensitive teeth. So when it comes to drinking cold stuff, I always sometimes have to let it sit a while. Like, for example, milk, I can't drink it right away unless I'm having an acid reflux attack. Then I toughen up a little bit. But, like, when I pour milk out of the fridge, I have to let it sit for a few minutes. I do not like cold pop. That's why I always get my pop without any ice, because this bothers my teeth. I normally like room temperature pop. Anyways, being that I do have a glass of milk poured, I don't want to take too terribly long. Ooh, sorry. Excuse me. I do have an upset stomach today. I don't know what's going on with my stomach. So if I make weird sounds and bodily sounds and noises, I apologize. It's just, I don't feel the best today. I don't feel bad, I just don't feel the best. Anyways, so I want to talk about something that, like I said, I'm sure you probably can go really detailed into it, really graphic, not graphic, but like oomph into it, you know. I don't want to really take too terribly long to talk about it because I'm pretty much going to give my opinion right away. So people have been posting stuff on Facebook lately because I am on Facebook. I do have a personal Facebook page. At this point, I'm not very popular or famous on YouTube, so I'm not going to be making a YouTube Facebook page yet until I get famous. That's even if I do get famous, and I doubt it. You look at someone like Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, Trisha Paytas, kid behind a camera. They got famous off of like 102 videos, and I've done over a year and a half of filming. So anyways, I hate those people. No, I mean, I like those people, but I kind of hate those people where they do one particular video where it is them talking, or where it is them reacting to something, or where it is them doing something, and they get famous off that one video. But I'm not jealous. Okay, maybe like this much, like a hair. Anywho. So I'm on Facebook, you know, and I'm just going through like I do every day, sometimes 5 times a day. I'm that person that I will literally go through Facebook, I will put my phone down, and 2 seconds later, I'm picking it up, like going through Facebook again. So I saw this post about if you are 12 years old, I don't know if it's like pending on the state that you live in. Someone was telling me, but it depends on the state that you live in. I don't know if it's national or natural, so it's throughout the whole United States. But I saw that if you're 12 years or older, so 12 years old or older, so you reach the age of 12, and you just keep getting older, and I know how that is. You just keep getting older, and you ain't gonna get any younger. Anyways, that if you're 12 years old or older, and apparently, like I said, I don't know if this depends on the state that you're in. For example, I'm in Illinois, so I don't know if it's state, or I don't know if it's throughout the whole United States, so it doesn't matter what state you're in. If you're 12 and older, and you go trick-or-treating, apparently you can get arrested. Okay, so here's my honest opinion. I do think that's very crazy. Now, if they say, oh, well, if you're 17, 16, maybe even 16, but 17 or 18 and you're still going trick-or-treating, then maybe I could see it. I don't know if I would want to say I could see someone getting arrested for it, like spending time in jail. I don't know if it would be like a misdemeanor. I don't know if it would be, I highly hope and doubt that it would be a felony. So I don't know if it would be a misdemeanor. I don't know if it would be like 1 day in jail. I don't know if it would be like a week in jail. I don't know if you would have to do like community service. I don't know what it would be when it came to if you would get caught. The police are so busy on Halloween anyways. So, no, I'm not a police officer, so I can't say much, but, it's so crazy to even think about it, but, like, I could see maybe if you're 16, 17, definitely 17 and 18, maybe 16, because I will tell you, I think the last time I actually technically trick-or-treated myself was probably maybe 15, maybe 16, to be honest. It's been many years, but yet, I think the last time I actually went out myself and trick-or-treated with my sister or whoever, I think it was probably family, was probably when I was 15, 16. But anyways, I mean, I'm dressed up. You know, they never said that you can't dress up. They've only mentioned trick-or-treating, but I'll get to that in a few minutes. But, like, there's been times where I've dressed up after I was 16. There's been a few times where I've gone trick-or-treating with my cousin. Like, I literally just take him as a chaperone, and I'm just kind of there by his side to watch out for him. A couple years ago, I went out with my best friend and her brother, and we went trick-or-treating with her brother to a few doors in her neighborhood. My girlfriend's niece, we went trick-or-treating with a little bit, and my other girlfriend, that is the mother to the niece. So, my friend Letty has a sister named Wendy. Wendy and Letty are both girlfriends to me. I consider them sisters. They consider me a sister. I'm a part of their family. They're part of my family. The only thing that we don't have in common is blood. But anyways, I've been trick-or-treating with them a few years, like once or twice. And we just gone to a few houses because their brother has autism, so he can't go out that long and can't eat that much candy because they try to keep him away from sweets and sugars and stuff because he gets very hyper. And Brenda, that is Letty's niece, that they call me Aunt BB. I don't want to call her my niece because we're technically not blood, but she calls me Aunt BB. I'm sure they would say if you want to call her, I don't know if they would say that, but you get the point. Brenda is only 3, only 2 years old, 2 to 3. She's now 4. I think she's 4, or is she 3? Oh my goodness. How old is Brenda? The time's going so fast. I remember when she was a little baby and we got to get on, like, I want to say it was a couple days before Christmas. And we all got together at Stephanie's house, another girlfriend of mine. It was me, Stephanie, Jessica, another girlfriend of mine, Wendy, Letty, and Brenda. And we just all got together and we huddled up around the couch. And we just, no joke, we just sat and talked for like 4 to 5 hours straight. Some drinking involved, even though I don't drink. I think we started to watch a movie, but we just kept talking, and we finally just paused the movie. That we do a lot, that we talk a lot whenever we all hang out, like all 5 of us. We just normally just talk. But anyways, so like there's, you know, when I've gone trick-or-treating with that family, we only went to like a few houses, you know, the neighborhood at least, you know. But like, I would say at the age of like maybe 15, 16 in my opinion, it's kind of be, well, son, daughter, whoever, granddaughter, grandson, niece, nephew, mom, dad, brother, sister, dog, cat, you, it. That's joking. Maybe you should look at how old you are. You know, you're starting to be 16, 15, 16. Kind of getting up there, you know. People looked at me. You know, there were times where I went up to the door for my cousin and they looked at me and like, you're a little old to be trick-or-treating. To be like, I'm not trick-or-treating. I'm here with my cousin. Well, still, that's trick-or-treating. It's like, look here, did I ask for candy? Do you see me with a bucket? there were times where I didn't even have a costume. I kind of just had a Halloween themed outfit on. And to be honest, I've done the last several years. So that ain't trick or treating. If I don't have a costume, if I don't have a bucket, if I don't say trick or treat, I'm not trick or treating. Capiche? I'm just here with my cousin, looking out for him, because there's a lot of crazy people here out on Halloween, especially if you can't tell if that weapon's real or not. Like he was Michael Myers one year. Oh, he was something one year. He was some killer. And he had like a plastic fake knife. It looked real from a distance, and I held it, and it was kind of heavy, but it was fake, obviously. But I was like, dang, this looks almost real. From a distance, it actually looked real. It's no different. It's like a gun. If it's spray painted black, and it doesn't have that orange thing on it, from a distance, it would be very hard to tell if it's real or fake. Anyways. So, like, I get 16, maybe 17, definitely 18, 19. Do I think that people would deserve to go to jail over it? No. I think if anything, the people should just be told, you're too old. And first of all, it should be up to the homeowners. I will tell you, the few times I passed out candy, I saw some people and it looked to be a little old for Halloween. And what I do is I'd say, hey, you're a little old to be trick-or-treating, so I'm just going to give you one piece of candy, and that's it. You're just getting one piece from this house. They're like, that's fine. It's like, okay, well, I just want to make sure that you may not get a lot of candy, because you are too old to be trick-or-treating. The little boy, because he was too old to be trick-or-treating, but he wasn't older than me, as I could tell. He was like, you ain't my mama. It's like, you got that right, ain't your mama? And your mama probably might not even know that you trick-or... Anyways, does your mama even know you're out trick-or-treating at your age? You barely have a costume on. You barely have a bucket. Like, I understand that some kids, all they use is pillowcases. I particularly grew up just having buckets every year, but, like, I was like, you literally have a grocery bag. I mean, you do what you have to do, I guess, but anyways. And there's been times where, like, okay, you're way too old to be trick-or-treating. I ain't giving you candy. Just one piece? No. How about that little piece that's this big? It's like, how about this? Just kidding. Get out of here. Goof, you're too old. You're like 20. It's like, how do you know I'm 20? And it's like, because you're growing a stash. And let me tell you something, I know, like, men can start growing beards or something at 15, 16, whatever. They said, you ain't 15 or 16, because that's a pretty big beard to have at 16, 17, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not gonna, who knows, I don't have, my boy cousins never grew beards. I have a few cousins that have a mustache now, but when they were young, trick-or-treating age, they never had scruffy beards or anything, so I don't know when it comes to growing beards, like how old you are when you grow an actual full-on beard, but, I don't know if it's worth jail time, you know, honestly. I don't think someone should go to jail over it. If they want to be, like, talked about it, like, hey, you really shouldn't be trick-or-treating, and maybe that's one thing, because that's kind of stealing, because you think at 15, 16, 17, 18, whatever, you probably have some own money of your own, like, where it's work money, like, because you probably have a job at that age, where it's, like, you have, a job, or, savings, or, chore money, like, you get money for doing the dishes, or cutting the grass, or something, so, kind of think at that age they probably somewhat have money by themselves. I can't talk too much because I don't have a job, unfortunately. I've been out of a job for almost 3 years now. I like it, then I hate it, because I like getting paid, but I like spending free time at home. But then again, I like getting that paycheck, you know, from time to time. Anyways, so I don't think that someone should go to jail over it, but I do admit that there are some ages where it's like you probably should look at it once or twice about maybe how old you are. I gotta lay down. before you put on I mean, here's the thing. Like, I tell people, when people say, oh, you're too old to dress up. Tell people, well, first of all, you go pound sand. Because my grandma, before she passed away, there were many years, and I don't know when exactly she did this. Because as long as I remember living, as long as my 24 years I had with my Oma, I remember it. I remember the 24 years I had with my Oma because she died right before my 25th birthday. She actually died right before my golden birthday because I turned 25 on the 25th. So right before my golden, she died. Passed away, I mean. Died, passed away. Anyways. I am gonna try to say this without crying. I didn't really want to cry in this blog, obviously, but as long as I remember, my grandma always dressed up as a cardinal. It's particularly a male cardinal. Even though we love the female cardinals more, because the male cardinals, I don't want to say they're ugly, but my family, we were more on the female side when it comes to cardinals. Long story that I'll tell another time. My mom, when she was young, back in the 60s/70s, actually had a pet cardinal named Chipper. Weed Chippy. Chipper. Chipper was the name of my mom's female cardinal that she had for over 15 years. And let me tell you something, cardinals only live for 3 to 4 years. 4 to 5 years. So anyways, that's a whole nother story that I'm not going to get into. But I'm going to get into, but that's not now. But each and every year that as long as I could possibly remember, that's why I said 24 years. Because I remember she used to do it when we were very young. I mean, I think there were a few years where she was a clown. Where she would dress up as a clown. I think actually she would just put on a wig and some goofy clothes and a nose and paint. I don't know if she would paint her face because my grandma had very bad acne and very bad eczema. Fortunately, my grandma's skin throughout her whole entire life was just very fragile, very bad. It could pull and tear and rip easily, and her eczema was horrible, and her, what else did I say? Her eczema? No, eczema, her acne was just very bad. Her skin was just very bad for her whole, my poor grandma. She was just, I don't want to say she didn't have a fun, exciting, good life, but when it came to her health, it was bad from the beginning. But anyways, so pretty much what my grandma would do, my Oma, is my Oma would get, and she would keep it in my mom's bedroom. That was my mom's bedroom, and my mom stayed at their house. And then that bedroom became my grandparents' bed, my great-grandparents' bedroom. So my Opa's bedroom. And then, once my Aunt Jill and once my mom moved out, my Oma stayed in one room. My Opa stayed in one room, I believe. Because my Oma's house bedrooms weren't very big at all. I look at we called it a few different names. We called it Oma's room. We called it my mom's bedroom. We called it the playroom. And then when we grew up and we didn't play anymore with toys, we called it the middle bedroom because it was in the middle of the house. So we called it the middle bedroom, or my mom's bedroom, my mom's room. I would call my Oma and be like, okay, where are you at? So when I come to your house, I know not to scare you. And she's like, I'm in the middle bedroom. I'm in your mom's room. There, okay, you know what people meant. But anyways, so she would go in the middle bedroom, my mom's room. It ended up being the TV room. So she had like a TV, a lazy boy. At one point, my grandpa had his typewriter. But like, and my mom, the middle bedroom obviously being my mom's room when my mom was young, obviously had a closet. And after my mom moved out, my grandma moved a lot of her clothes into that closet. I think it was mostly blouse. I'm not sure. I think my grandma kept all her clothes in there. For some reason I wanted to say this winter coats, but actually her coat closet was in the hallway. Now that I think about it. I ever forgot about it. Not that I forgot about it, but so my grandma, my Oma would go in my mom's bedroom. She would only wear the costume on Halloween. She would put it on. And it wasn't even a costume. I mean, it was technically a costume, but it was like a DIY costume, I guess you could call it. So she would wear a red robe. It was a robe that was red. And it had buttons on it. And it had a ladybug on it. And it had like white Liz doilies around the pockets because it had two pockets, one on the right, one on the left. It had a hood. And it had a couple buttons. And it was really cute. And it was just kind of a typical red robe. But like 80s, 70s style red robe. I like the kind you see these days that cost like $60 and they're big and fluffy. This one was, I don't want to say it wasn't warm, but you know, you look back at the 70s and 80s and you think of what the robes were like back then. Not probably. Anyways. So she would put on the robe, probably over her clothes, or pajamas, or her nightgown. My grandma always wore nightgowns. And each and every year she would normally make a homemade beak. So she would pretty much roll up some newspaper. I don't know how she got it orange or yellow, to be honest, now that I think about it. I don't know how she got the orange or yellow color on it. Maybe spray paint, maybe paint. I don't know. In all honesty, that's a good question to ask my mom. How did Oma get the beak, the color? Because she probably made it from newspaper. I don't know. Or maybe she had her own beak that she bought one year. I can't remember what the beak was made out of off the bat, but she always had a beak, and she would wear it, and I actually got a picture of her and my Opa, and they went to go see my mom once at work. And my grandma had a costume on, and my grandpa had his typical daily clothes on. Even though I look at the sweater or jacket that he's wearing, and it's actually the jacket that I got. Once he passed away, I got that jacket. And I don't really wear it too often, because the zipper doesn't really work on it, and Grandpa, you know, being Grandpa, was a big chested, you know, I'm big chested, so I don't want to say my grandpa was particularly smaller than me, but like for some reason the jacket that he wore is a little tight and a little small on me, so I don't know how it doesn't barely fit me. I'm pretty sure it's just because of the stupid chest, you know, fucking whack. My grandpa was taller than me, and maybe he weighed, I'll admit, maybe he did weigh less than me, and he didn't have curves, he didn't have a whack, he can hold up a freaking forest. Some people, my girlfriends, actually literally tested me once. They're like, can you hold up a pencil? And it's like, can I hold up a pencil? And I proved them right that I could hold up a pencil. I'm not trying to be nasty, but I literally took the Yankee Candle. My friend had a Yankee Candle jar. And I held it up. And I was like, you want me to do the pencil? And you asked me if I could hold a pencil up. You want me to still do the pencil? And they're looking at me. And they're like, no, you don't have to do the pencil. You proved this right. You can hold up a pencil. It's like, yeah, I can hold up a pencil. If I can hold up a freaking soda can, a freaking Yankee Candle, probably Bath and Body Works candle now that I think about it too. It was like, you know why it's so painful to wear a bra. Because they saw my bra once. Because, I don't want to say they really see me naked, but, like, there's been times where we're getting undressed in front of each other. And, they saw my bra for the first time once, and they're like, what the hell is that? I'm like, what? And they're like, that. They're like, Dad. I'm like, it's my bra. And they're like, it can't be. Brenda's using it as a hat. And I'm like, oh Lord, if only she knew what she was putting on her head. I said, I cannot wait until she turns 16 and I tell her, hey, remember when you were 2 years old, 3 years old, and you used to go around wearing my bra on your head as a hat, even though it practically is a hat to her. And you would be flinging it all over and everything. She's probably going to be like, you Aunt BB, you made me let me do that. And it's like, yeah, I did. Anyways. But then one year, my grandma's costume got wrecked by a mouse. She called my dad up once. I said, Bill, you need to get here right away. And he's like, why? What's going on? She's like, my costume's ruined. And he's like, what costume? My cardinal costume I used for Halloween. How is it ruined? This is word for word. She's like, a mouse died on it. He's like, well, if the mouse is on the floor, just pick it up and throw it out. She's like, no, the mouse is dangling from my costume. Like, the claw from the foot is like... So we go, I'm home, and I said, let me go with you, go to Grandma's, And we see the mouse, and it's literally, like, dangling from it, and it's like dead, like, literally hanging from its, like, nails and tail. I'm like, yeah, so I don't think you're wearing that costume anymore. So it's pretty sad to have to throw that costume. My Oma was a daredevil. Well, not really, but, like, one year we got her a fire pit for Christmas. It was an outdoor fire pit. Last 7-8 years of her life, she loved that fire pit. Anything that she could fit in that fire pit, she would burn. And you can't burn everything. I mean, you can. Anything will technically burn or melt or catch on fire after a certain temperature, after a certain time of it burning. Give it time, anything and everything will burn. But, like, she would throw, if it fit, she would burn. I want to say something that rhymes, but if it fits, it burns. If it fit in that pit, she would put it in there and she would burn it. And we would tell her, you can't burn that. You can't do that. That's not safe to burn. And probably has, like, lead in it, because at one point we were burning pieces of wood that my opa had stored up. And it's like, knowing that my grandpa built that shed and that garage back in the 60s, 70s, it probably has lead in it. She's like, okay, I gotta die somehow. Oh my goodness. Every time a bad storm would come, I would call my grandma and said, hey Grandma, just so you know, I'm getting dressed because we got called out for storm spotting. We're not weather chasers. We don't chase storms. We don't follow the storms like Bill Paxton and Twister. We just sit there and watch the storms and report how the storms are doing. But anyways, so I would call my grandma and say, hey Grandma, just so you know, I'm getting dressed because we got called out for weather spotting. And I was like, I just want you to be safe, and if you hear the tornado sirens, take cover, do whatever. Well, if God wants me to die that way, because the tornado comes through my room, then that's how I'm going to die, and that's how God wants me to die. Or I would be saying, Grandma, don't go outside, it's slippery. Where do you want... We mostly went in for the back door at my grandma's house. We never really went in for the front door, because the front door didn't have keys. So we never used... I don't want to say we never used the front door, but unless you opened the front door from the inside and walked out to get like, the mail, I want to get something on the step or stoop. We never use the front door. We would always use the back door at my grandma's house. Oh, hang on a second. I had like hair stuck in my hand. So like during winters, we would be like, Oma, don't go outside. It's too icy. It's too slippery. Don't feed the birds. Don't, because she would always have bird seed. And she would always have bird food to feed the birdies and the rabbits and all that. And she would always sprinkle it, and we're like, don't do it until we come there. We'll do it. We'll sprinkle it if you really want to feed them in the winter. And she was like, well, if I go out and I slip on ice and I break another hip, or I die, because I get bed rash because I can't move anymore, or if I die from falling on the ice, and that's how God wants me to die. And I would be like, "Oy, Grandma, don't say that." Or like if she would go in the bathtub, and we finally, after so long of a fight, we finally got her in the habit of bringing the phone. Because I would go in there, because I went there almost every day to see her, you know. Especially after my Opa died. And I can't tell you how many times I would go in the bathroom and she would not have a phone. Whether it was her house line or her cell phone. And it's like, you need a phone. I don't care if it's your cell phone. You know, if you call 911, you really should call on the house line. I said, I don't care if it's the house line. I don't care if it's your cell phone. I don't care if you have your cell phone plugged in, but you need to have a phone in here when you're in the bathtub. But in case you fall and you can't get back up, you don't have to. She was like 4'8". She was like Snooki's height. She weighed maybe 80 pounds at one time. I don't know, but like very small lady. I said, if you yell for help, people aren't going to hear you because everyone's at work and or school. And she always took them in the morning. Every day she took a bath. As long as I can remember, my girl Oma took a bath every day. And I said, if you fall and you scream, it's going to be like, help, help. You don't have a power. I'm not going to yell help in my voice because if I yell help, people will hear. And I do think that there's some neighbors home, but I said people aren't going to hear you if you yell because of your voice being so small. So I said, if I slip and I fall in the bathtub and I die and I break a hip, and that's how God wants me to go, that's how God wants me to go. Oh, like, she had a problem with her stove burner where she would need to use a lighter to light it. And it's like, Grandma, where in case you light it and it blows up the house. You gotta understand, this house is old. This is the 1960s house. The house next to you is arm's reach away from each other. Like, I can literally stand and put my arm out to my side and touch the other house. At least the house to... stand in front yard. At least the house over there. I can't remember what side, if that's north, south, east, or west. That side is okay, but that house, well, my grandma's yard was so big because she had a natural gas meter going through there. Pipe going through there. So I said, you gotta understand. If your house blows up, the whole neighborhood's going. Not just your house. The house next, I don't want to say the whole neighborhood, but the house next to you, their house, that house is going. It ain't going to be pretty. And the fire department's going to know it's you because of how often they come to your house. Whether it's because you smell, because you fell, or whether because it smells like gas. Anyways, dang. Well, if God wants me to die because I blow up, and it's like, God doesn't want you to die because you slip on ice. God doesn't want you to die because a tornado comes through the house. God doesn't want you to die because you fell in the bathtub. God doesn't want you to die because the house blew up. God doesn't want you to die because of this or that or this or this or how. Stop saying that. Oh, I hear Cardinal outside. Oma, is that you? I love you. I miss you. You guys can't hear it because my phone sucks, but there's actually a cardinal outside my window. That comes some mornings, it comes. Let me tell you, some mornings that cardinal chirps, and it's so loud it wakes you up. And it's like, as much as I love cardinals and I love cardinals singing, not at 6 or 7 in the morning. It's like, can you wait like 2 more hours, 3 more hours until you start singing beautiful songs? So anyways, that's my opinion on Trick or Treat. I'm gonna go. I've been talking a lot longer than I wanted to talk about. I went off topic, and I normally do. I have a bad habit of going off topic, talking about one story and going into 5 different stories related to that story.